Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Kelly, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do have to point out, though, that the museum you mentioned, which I have been to,
It's amazing.
it's in Las Vegas.
It is. It is. It's at the university, though.
Yes.
It's at the university.
It's a great museum. I highly recommend it.
Research Institute.
Vice Admiral Papineau and Mr. Cadenzi, and am I pronouncing that correctly?
Cadenazzi, close.
Cadenazzi, thank you. Thank you both for being here. Mr. Cadenazzi, I'd like to understand your plan to enhance our critical mineral stockpiles. So the United States, we import nearly 100% of our cobalt sulfate and cobalt metal requirements, despite cobalt playing a critical role in a lot of defense technologies. Meanwhile, China produces more than 70% of the world's refined cobalt. It's imperative that we decouple and substantially bolster our domestic critical mineral supply chain. So given the national security importance of these rare minerals, such as cobalt, how do you plan on supporting American cobalt and other critical mineral processing companies?
Senator, I appreciate the question, the significance of this issue. I've spent more time looking at the periodic table of elements now since I have like in my chemistry class in high school. China has clearly weaponized the periodic table of elements. They've made efforts to go ahead and secure access to materials that we require within the defense industrial base. The Industrial Base Policy Office has made investments totaling $540 million into various mineral capabilities, processing, source materials over the past several years. If confirmed, I'm eager to understand more about the particular issues associated with cobalt, but also the broader needs for access to secure and strategic and critical minerals, and ensure that we're taking the necessary action to ensure American requirements are met domestically or through allies and partners over time. And if confirmed, I'm eager to work with you on that subject, Senator.
And do you think we should have build our own stockpile of critical minerals?
Senator, yeah, absolutely. We do have a strategic and critical materials stockpile in place now. I'm not aware of the scale of that relative to the demand of the industrial base. However, again, if confirmed, I'm eager to work further on this and understand the scale of required investment, both government and private capital necessary to secure our access to those materials.
Thank you. And Admiral, in your advanced policy questionnaire, when asked what your main priority will be as the principal Deputy Administrator, you responded that you would work to maximize the efficiency, effectiveness, capability, and capacity of NNSA. I want to follow up on this because while I agree on the priority, I'm concerned that recent freezes on civilian hirings and the firing of probationary employees across the federal government will hamper your ability to accomplish your priorities and ultimately the agency's mission. Part of that mission is to stockpile nuclear weapons and reduce the overall global nuclear threat. To accomplish this mission, the agency employs nuclear physicists and other highly technical professionals. These professionals cannot be mass-produced and are incredibly difficult to coax into federal service. So how do you assess the recent firings and termination letters for NNSA employees and how that will affect your ability to accomplish the agency's mission?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Senator. I agree that that is a critical workforce, right now I am not fully apprised about what is the details of what is happening at NNSA. I only can read about what I see in the news, but if confirmed, it will be a priority of mine to make sure that I assess the workforce needs, the resourcing of the number of people and whatever facilities, training, capability they have. Whatever we need to do to attract, recruit, train, and retain that critical workforce will be a priority of mine.
Do you see that one of your first responsibilities, if confirmed, is to make sure you have the workforce you need?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, certainly having the critical workforce, if confirmed, is something I will assess and make sure I advocate for the men and women of NNSA and the national laboratories to make sure they are resourced properly to accomplish this no-fail mission.
And Admiral, DoD is at an unfortunate intersection here where all legs of our nuclear triad are needing modernization at the same time. And this modernization requirement has a direct impact on the NNSA. Additionally, civil service integration is critical for the agency's mission. The NNSA's partnership with the scientific and academic community is paramount for maintaining our comparative advantage. How are you planning on managing the modernization projects with infrastructure recapitalization efforts that spans civil and federal infrastructure. And you have 3 seconds.
Thank you, Senator. I will certainly, another priority of mine will be to assess the enterprise blueprint going forward and making sure we look for where the barriers are to driving, getting the enterprise recapitalized, all the infrastructure recapitalized, look for opportunities for where we can insert modern manufacturing technology to drive a sense of urgency in our stockpile stewardship programs.
All right, thank you, Admiral.